Man, we had so many good times. I was kinda hoping we could have some more. But, wait, what? Oh, I see. Saw a girl from a long time ago. Oh, wanted love, but she let me know. No, now my heart's broke. Now my heart's broke. Well, hey, you may not like me that way, but we can still be friends, right? Right? Wait, no, where are you going? Come back! Misa greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Didn't see you in the cafeteria, He-chan. Yeah, I decided it was too crowded there. Misa's grin gets even wider. Oh, really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous? Nani? Hanishimasu ka? What are you talking about? Nani o hanishimasu ka? You were on the roof, right? With both Ren and Emi, no less. You Casanova, you. We just had lunch, that's all. Misha burst into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. You're so adorable when you blush like that, He-chan. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. There's no secret. Oh? Misha seems disappointed and then brightens up again. Time will tell. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly our teacher comes in and the class starts. Another day of class has finally dragged itself into a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. I know this is what it eats, but it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to be looking over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is unusually out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I'll just end up doing work for those two. And heaven only knows where everyone else is except for... well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emi's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already? What are you doing down here, Isao? Come to spy on me, have you? I give a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At that moment, Emi's the only person I can think of who I could visit. So I'm your last resort, am I? Nobody cool around, so I just go see Emi. Is that what you thought? She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing of my own presents itself. Actually, yeah, I guess you are. Emi pouts, widening her eyes to give them a maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding! I was just kidding. So you're down here to stalk me? Wait, what? That's not what I meant. Why would I stalk you anyway? It's not like you require stalking. If you're not a sleeper in class, you're down here, right? Emi laughs at this comment. Well, you're not all wrong, I suppose, but you forgot about eating. I do that too, you know. I'm not conceding the point. Plus, I hang out with friends sometimes too. So really, I might take some effort to stalk. What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hands on her hip and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I've got all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Oh really, like what? Emi puts her head to one side as if she's trying to remember what it is she does in her free time. Well, Ren and I go out shopping sometimes. I guess that makes sense. Emi's a girl after all, but Ren? Ren comes with you? We usually swing by the art supply store. Plus she likes this music store that sells all kind of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps her focus. It helps focus her. That makes a little more sense. I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Emi wags a finger at me. Now, why would I go and reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Somehow I think that's all that Emi has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't see why you hang out with Ren so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? This comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. Huh, that's the understatement of the year. So why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you hang out with a lot of people, but I think I've only ever seen you with Ren. Emmy seems unusually defensive. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Ren. You just don't see me doing it because I'm not in your class. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Ren. I'm not even sure why I want to know this. I guess it's because lunch was so strange. Emmy shrugs, looking for a moment very Renish. It's because we have similar outlooks. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would be it. What do you mean? It's like... Okay, Ren paints and stuff, right? Hi? I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And that's why we're similar. You lost me. Emmy frowns as if trying to figure out her answer. Well, maybe it's that we do things for the same reason. Huh? You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Ren's passionate about art, is that it? Well, sort of. Let me think. Well, Ren explained it to me once, but I don't know how much of it I followed. Not surprising, I think any explanation from Ren would probably confuse anyone. She says we both chase after an extreme. Like she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of the feeling I get from it. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on that. What do you mean, slowed down by anything? Emmy looks surprised and points to her legs. You know, because I'm a runner, and Ren's a painter even without arms. So we respect each other's determination. And that's why we hang out. I think. Well, I'm not sure that made any sense to me, but from Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I think about much. We just get along, and I think that's really all that matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So, what got you into running? Into running anyway? Oh, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, and as soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. And it was our father-daughter thing, you know? Our own mutual hobby. A shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them? Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I've got a few more laps in before I go see the nurse. She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. It seems to me she's going a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was this morning, but her eyes seem to have taken on a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watch her run for a little while and then stand up to head back to my room. Hey! She spots me leaving and waves to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it? Got it. I head back to my room. Homework beckons. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. This is not productive at all. My throat is hurting. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not as used to my new surroundings as I like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm awake and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked, it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do me some good. I'm surprised at how chill the area is compared to the relative warmth of the day. I can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up or for me to fall asleep. At this point, either option works for me. I find myself at the track, where for the first time Emmy's not out running. I suppose that makes sense. It's too early even for her. The bleacher seats are cold, but at this point I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon, and I know with an awful certainty that I'll get no more sleep tonight. The sun's steadily strengthening rays start to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to steam slightly. My mind calms down a little. Someone's shaking me. Hey, wake up. Huh? Where? Huh? I guess I fell asleep after all. What are you doing out here? You're gonna catch a cold or something. I rub my eyes and am confronted by Amy, who bends over me with a worried expression. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. Couldn't sleep. Watch the sun come up. Sounds like something Ren would say. I shrugged, feeling the stiffening that comes with sleeping on a bench for a few hours. Is it? I wouldn't know. Amy grins a little at my somewhat cranky response. So couldn't sleep, eh? Obviously you need to run harder today. Even though I've only known her for about a week, this seems a very Amish response to the problem. Hey, my body was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all. I don't see the difference. If you run hard enough, your brain will get tired too. I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know if my grades will be able to handle me tiring my brain out like that. Amy pulls me up from the bleachers with surprising strength from somewhere for someone with her size. Now come on, Sal, we've got work to do. I don't actually know if I'm up to this today, to be honest. I mean, obviously I didn't get much sleep, and what sleep I got was on the bleachers. I don't know. Can't speak. I don't know. Should I really be running? Amy glares at me. Good heavens. What are you talking about? Of course you should be running. How else do you expect to work out the kinks? You've been sleeping on the bleachers for heaven's sake. The best way to get that soreness out is to run a little. Now stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here. There's no arguing that. I'm pretty sure she'd kill me if I didn't do as she said. I get to my feet and hop down to the track. The sun is warming things up rather nicely, I think. Amy and I begin to stretch out, and I find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every day, I might be able to get used to this. Ding! Cuz like... Get You know, it's not polite to stare. I wasn't staring, I swear. Amy raises an eyebrow and considers me for a minute, as if evaluating my response. There's a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life, but then she smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly. Honestly, you didn't have to deny it so strenuously. In response, I clap my hands together and go for a change of subject. So that's enough stretching, right? Amy gives a casual shrug. Do you feel stretched? That's really how you tell. Well, I do feel up to the run, if that's what she means. Yeah, I feel ready to go. Same as yesterday, okay? We'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast, just worry about keeping the pace, got it? You're the boss. Amy grins again, and we take off around the track. I think I'm going to die. We're not even done with the first lap and my legs are on fire. My breath is coming in ragged gasps. I can feel sweat pouring down my brow, and we've only just now rounded the second turn. Come on, Isao, you got 3 more laps to go. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this! I think I might hurl. Somehow we're on the second lap. Amy's not even sweating. How can she do this so effortlessly? For some reason, I'm still moving. She's like a machine. Third lap. What happened to the second? Almost there, Hisao. Liar. You got another 2. Nothing to be done. I can't do this. Amy whirls around and begins running backwards. Her face is a mask of anger that surprises me. Never say that. If you say that, you have already have lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, dang it. Whoa, language. We're on the 4th lap now. She really seems to want me to keep going. Legs move. 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 They feel so sluggish. I'm in the mud or molasses or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on. Final stretches out. Give it all you've got. I've pumped my legs as fast as they'll go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow I keep moving. Somehow I finish. That's it, Isao. I knew you had it in you. The anger Amy showed a lap ago is gone, replaced with pride. She's positively radiant, like she just won the gold medal or something. I stagger to a stop and fall to my hands and knees, gasping for air. My heart is pounding far harder than it has in a long time. I don't think it's done this since... Oh God. Please slow down, heart. Just slow down. Stop racing. I cough, and for some reason I feel a grin crossing my face. So this is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I'm all ready to give up right there. But then I feel my heart slow down. 2 hands grab under my arms and tug upwards. I look up and see Emmy standing over me with a mixture of delight and worry. On your feet! Come on, you'll never catch your breath that way. Somehow I manage to stand. I try to raise my arms above my head, but they feel like lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy keeps close to me, like she's afraid I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I fear terrible and say so. Emmy laughs. But you finished, didn't you? You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it? I'm not sure, and I don't really have the breath to say so. But that small grin I felt on my face earlier hasn't left. So what if my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow morning too. As soon as it becomes apparent that I'm not going to suddenly kill over, Emmy takes off on her sprints. I don't know how the hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than me. Once again, as I walk around the track, I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but she's like a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle but doesn't care. She seems to be running harder, like she did yesterday. Sweat has started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens as she can no longer get enough air through her nose. As she passes me once more, legs pumping, arms swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted. She looks beautiful. He's falling for her. Man, I kind of want to keep going. After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Amy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Sal. There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I wouldn't have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Amy colors a little, seemingly embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that. I just can't stand to see people give up, especially about something like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you're saying it. That's what this is all about. What, saying silly things? Amy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot. Baka. Baka. I mean, showing that you're alive. Showing I'm alive, huh? I didn't know it had to be so painful, but it does feel pretty good despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and then the third day is easier. You'll still get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh? Yeah, of course. But then you have to increase the difficulty or you'll never get ahead. You'll just get complacent and you'll lose the sense of accomplishment. So I have to run more than just 4 laps, huh? Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know. A thought strikes at me and her face lights up. Got it. Got what? You can come with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over dead or anything. How charming. When? Right now, of course. You'll need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her. My goodness, but you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Amy? I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You've got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I can hear you coming a mile away. Somehow it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like this is sort of a routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. Yes, you will. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly, it seems that he notices me. Ah, hello, Hassel. What brings you here? Well, Hassel's officially joined me on my morning runs. I tried to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought he might need to visit you so he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises his eyebrow in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Hassel, let's have a look at you. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm slowly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in the room with me and blush in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, are we? He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy, I tried to get you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, Sal? I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal. She doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door, and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go. Still got it. I don't follow. He laughs again, like he's in on some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. That sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too. Alright, that sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it. I wasn't going to say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in so that you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired on the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. It nearly killed her and succeeded. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, that's not my place to stay. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while now. So we have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I've been wondering about what caused Amy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. There are only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts is still a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Asao. I can see why Amy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know? What do you mean? You don't see her learning to walk. She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. It only takes years to get to a point where you can even think about running again. Amy did it all in about a year. He almost seems proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she goes for so long that her legs will start bleeding where they met her prosthetic. It's a real concern. It's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough about that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy will think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. He really should have heated it up or something before he used it. After a few moments, he leans back satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Asao. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath, though, and my heart was racing by the end, too. The nurse frowns as I said this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape, but if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much, and of course if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? I put my shirt back on, and the nurse leans out of the doorway to call in Emmy. What took you so long? Now I'm going to be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing Asao, that's all. What? Come on. What have I told you about seducing my friends? I'd expect Amy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I try not to do it again, though I fear young Asao may be lost to the female gender forever. Not freaking likely. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regard me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Told you he was funny, didn't I? I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Asao, you should probably get going. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point. It looks like I've only got a half hour done. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. I make it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for hours, and 4 hours, and class hasn't even started. This is going to be a really, really long day. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. And with that, I think I'm going to end this episode right here because, gosh, my voice is hurting. Hold on. Let's see what happens first. Okay, yeah. It is Doyobi. No, Nichiyobi. Nichiyobi. So, with that, guys, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Now my heart's broke. Now my heart's broke.